Humanity had lived in a careful balance with the universe. Wars had been fought long ago, but peace had lasted for generations. Humans had built great cities, explored distant planets, and advanced technology far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Earth was thriving. Colonies on nearby planets flourished. Trade and communication between planets were smooth. Humanity believed that patience, intelligence, and diplomacy were enough to protect them. But patience can only last so long. It started with small incidents, alien ships appearing near human colonies, then disappearing without explanation. No harm was done, but the presence was unsettling. People spoke in whispers, wondering if these visitors were curious or testing humanity. Dr. Lena Carter, a lead scientist at the Earth Space Observatory, studied the incoming data. "Their ships are unlike anything we've seen," she said, pointing at the projections. "Their movement, it's not random. It's deliberate, calculated. And they are close to several of our colonies." Her colleague, Dr. Raj Malhotra, frowned. "Do you think they are hostile?" "I don't know," Lena admitted. "But they are sending a clear message: we are being watched. And they are patient, far too patient." The world tried diplomacy first. Messages were sent across space, warning and asking for understanding. But the aliens did not respond in ways humans could understand. Their ships emitted strange energy pulses, patterns in the sky that puzzled even the most brilliant scientists. Each pulse seemed almost like a taunt, a test of human patience. Meanwhile, human leaders debated what to do. Some called for restraint. "We cannot attack first," one diplomat said. "Patience and negotiation are our strengths. We must show we are reasonable." Others were more cautious. "We do not know what they are capable of," argued a general. "If we wait too long, they may strike first. Humanity must prepare for war." Tension spread across Earth and its colonies. People felt unease in their daily lives. Power grids and satellites were adjusted for defense. Military fleets patrolled space. Scientists worked tirelessly to decode the alien signals. Every small decision seemed critical, and fear began to creep into even the most confident hearts. Then came the first real provocation. A small alien vessel approached one of the outer colonies. It hovered silently above the city, its energy glowing faintly in the night sky. The colony sent drones and communication signals, trying to understand the visitors. The alien vessel did not respond in words. Instead, it released a pulse of energy over a deserted area. Rocks lifted, ground cracked, and machines nearby malfunctioned. No humans were harmed, but the message was unmistakable: we are powerful. We are observing. Do not make a mistake. Panic and tension spread quickly. Colonists called for reinforcement. Governments debated whether this was a warning or a challenge. And for the first time in generations, humanity began to feel the cracks in its centuries of peace. Dr. Carter studied the energy readings, her face pale. "They are testing us, seeing how we react. Every move we make, every choice we take, they are watching." Raj shook his head. "And if we fail the test?" "We may regret it," Lena replied quietly. The alien fleet remained on the edge of human colonies, silent but threatening. They moved with precision, showing intelligence and power beyond comprehension. Humans realized that this was more than simple provocation. This was a test of patience, strategy, and control. The colony strengthened defenses, yet no one could feel truly safe. Every alarm, every strange energy reading, every flicker in the sky reminded humans of their fragility. The centuries of peace had left them unprepared for the psychological and strategic challenge of a patient, observing enemy. Meanwhile, on Earth, ordinary people looked up at the sky with wonder and fear. Children saw glowing ships in the distance. Families whispered about the unknown. Social media buzzed with speculation, images, and fear. Humanity had long dreamed of contact with other species, but not like this, not with tension and potential danger in every pulse of light. And then, just as people began to adjust to this uneasy calm, a second vessel appeared, larger, brighter, more intimidating. It hovered above a major city, its shadow casting darkness over streets below. Alarms rang. Citizens evacuated. The military scrambled jets and ships, but the alien vessel made no aggressive move. Instead, it projected holographic patterns into the clouds above the city, a display of power and intelligence, not destruction. The message was clear: humans were being tested and the universe was watching. Patience was not just a virtue, it was the only tool left. Dr. Carter whispered to Raj, "This is the beginning. Humanity has been patient for centuries, but patience has limits. And soon we may reach the breaking point." The alien ships hovered silently above, waiting. Humanity's patience, restraint, and intelligence were all being challenged. And for the first time in history, the universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what humans would do next. The calm of centuries had ended. Suspense and uncertainty filled the air. Humanity was about to learn that patience alone might not be enough to survive, and the moment the universe had been waiting for was drawing near. The days that followed were anything but peaceful. The alien ships did not attack, but their presence grew stronger. More vessels arrived, silent, bright, and menacing, hovering near human colonies like watchful predators waiting for the right moment. Every colony felt the pressure. People moved through streets with nervous eyes. Soldiers trained with renewed intensity. Scientists worked day and night, trying to understand the energy pulses the aliens kept releasing. No one knew what the signals meant, but everyone felt the tension behind them. Earth's government called an emergency meeting. Representatives from every colony appeared on giant screens in the council chamber. The room was filled with voices, worried, angry, confused. General Marcus Hayes stood at the center of the chamber. His face was stern, his voice calm but heavy. "We cannot ignore this anymore. The aliens are testing us. If we stay silent, they will see us as weak." A diplomat shook her head strongly. "Responding with force will start a war we are not ready for. We must stay patient. We must try communication again." General Hayes stared at her. "And if communication fails again? How long do we wait before they decide to crush us?" For a moment, the room fell silent. Everyone knew the truth: humanity was walking on the edge of a blade. Meanwhile, in the outer colonies, on the planet Helion 3, a small agricultural colony, tension reached a new peak. An alien ship moved closer than ever before, coming low over the farmlands, its glowing hull reflecting on metal rooftops. People ran into shelters as alarms echoed through the valley. Commander Iris Vance, the colony's defense leader, watched the massive ship through binoculars. "They are too close," she whispered. "This is not a warning. This is pressure." The alien vessel hummed with a strange vibrating sound that shook the ground. Lights flickered. Machines malfunctioned. Electronic doors opened and closed on their own. And then, it happened. A drone belonging to the colony flew too close to the alien vessel. It wasn't intentional. It was a simple scouting drone that lost control due to the energy interference. But the aliens reacted immediately. A thin beam of blue light cut through the sky and struck the drone. It disintegrated instantly, silent, clean, without explosion. The colony froze. There were no words. Only fear. "They destroyed it," Iris said quietly. "And they did it without hesitation." On Earth, pressure builds. When the news reached Earth, panic spread faster than any ship could travel. Social networks filled with videos of the destroyed drone. People demanded answers. Some shouted, "We need to defend ourselves." Others begged, "Please don't start a war." But one thing was clear: humanity's patience was starting to break. Dr. Lena Carter watched the drone footage several times. Her voice trembled slightly when she spoke. "They reacted instantly. No warning. No message. They are telling us, we control the space around you." Raj Malhotra leaned forward in his chair. "And what are we supposed to do? Just accept it?" Lena didn't answer. Because deep inside she didn't know. A mysterious signal. On the fourth day after the drone incident, Earth's observatory detected something strange, a new alien pulse. But this one was different. It was stronger. It was clearer. It was directed at Earth. Dr. Carter stared at the waveform on her screen. This is not random. This is a message." Raj's eyes widened. "You can understand it?" "Not fully," Lena said. "But its structure suggests a warning. Or a countdown." A silence filled the lab as the weight of her words settled. "A countdown to what?" Raj whispered. Lena looked at him with fear in her eyes. "I think we are running out of time." The Council's final warning. Earth's leaders gathered again, this time with a decision to make. After hours of debate, they released a message to the alien fleet. A strong, clear warning. "We have shown patience. We have shown restraint. But if you threaten our people again, humanity will defend itself." The message was sent across space, echoing through every colony. For a moment, everyone held their breath. Would the aliens respond? Would they back away? Or would everything fall apart? Hours passed. Nothing. No reply. No movement. Only silence. A silence that felt more dangerous than any weapon. The turning point. That night, in every human colony and every city on Earth, fear and anger mixed like fire waiting for a spark. Families stayed indoors. Soldiers stayed on alert. Scientists stayed awake through the night. Humanity was waiting. Waiting for the aliens to make their next move. Waiting for the universe to reveal its intentions. Waiting for patience to break. And somewhere in the cold darkness of space, alien ships remained motionless, watching, calculating, planning. Humanity did not yet know it, but the moment the universe would never forget was beginning to form. Silence covered the colonies like a heavy shadow. 4 days the alien ships did nothing. No movement, no messages, no attacks. They simply watched. They hovered. They waited. And that silence was more terrifying than open war. On Earth, the Council tried to calm the people. It is only observation, they said. We must stay patient, they repeated. But humanity could feel the pressure rising. Then, without warning, everything changed. The spark on Helon 3. On the colony of Helon 3, where the drone had been destroyed, people were tense and restless. Soldiers took shifts guarding the perimeter. Families stayed in shelters. Alarms remained ready to activate at any second. Commander Iris Vance was in the control tower when a group of young engineers approached her. "Commander, we found something," one of them said nervously. They showed her images taken by an old mining drone that was hidden deep underground, away from alien scanners. The drone had captured something shocking. One of the alien ships was releasing tiny metallic probes into the soil, thousands of them spreading like insects across the ground. Iris's eyes widened. They are mapping our land, maybe our resources, maybe our weaknesses. The engineers whispered, "This is not observation. This is preparation." Iris made a decision that would change the future of humanity. Send this directly to Earth. Now. Earth reacts. When Dr. Lena Carter received the footage, she felt a sharp chill run down her spine. "This is invasive," she said. "They are not here for diplomacy. They are preparing for control." Raj leaned forward, whispering, "Is this it? Is this the moment?" Lena didn't answer. She simply forwarded the data to the council. Within minutes, an emergency meeting was called, again. General Hayes slammed his fist on the table. "This is aggression. This is territory violation. We must respond." The diplomats hesitated. Maybe it is still a misunderstanding. Hayes glared at them. "A misunderstanding does not involve drilling our land and scanning our people." For the first time, even the diplomats fell silent. Humanity had been patient. But the aliens had crossed a line. A mistake, or a message. The next morning, something happened that no one had expected. A small human patrol ship, Falcon 12, was flying near the atmosphere of Helon 3. Its mission was simple: watch, report, and avoid conflict. But an alien vessel drifted closer than usual. The pilots inside the Falcon panicked. "Keep distance. Keep distance," the captain shouted. The alien ship did not respond. Its shadow covered the human vessel like a giant beast blocking out the sun. Then, a bright pulse erupted from the alien hull. The Falcon shook violently. Panels cracked. Systems failed. "We're losing control," the pilot yelled. They tried to retreat, but it was too late. A second pulse hit the ship, harder. And Falcon 12 spiraled downward, crashing into an empty valley far from the colony. No humans died, but the message was clear. The aliens could destroy them anytime they wanted. Humanity snaps just a little. Commander Iris Vance stared at the crashed ship. Her anger felt like fire in her chest. "This cannot continue," she said. Her soldiers nodded. "We must do something." Iris knew she was about to cross a line. A line Earth had begged all colonies not to cross. But fear was no longer the only emotion in her heart. There was anger now. Deep anger. She ordered a small strike team to approach one of the alien probes in the soil. "Collect it," she commanded. "And if it resists, disable it." The soldiers followed orders. When they reached the probe field, they found the tiny machines crawling across the sand like silver insects. One of them shot a thin beam of light toward the soldiers, just like the drone incident before. Instinct took over. One soldier fired back. A flash. A spark. A loud crack in the air. The probe exploded. It was small. It was tiny. But it was the first human strike on alien technology. And the aliens noticed instantly. The alien response. High above the colony, the alien ship shifted. Its lights changed color, deep red. A vibration echoed across the sky. Windows rattled. Power grids flickered. Animals fled. People hid. "Prepare for impact," Iris shouted. The alien vessel sent out a shockwave across the valley. Sand lifted into the air. Buildings trembled. The probe field melted into the ground. The ship stopped. It hovered silently again, watching. It did not fire another weapon. It did not land. It did not destroy the colony. It simply displayed red lights and remained there. A warning. A statement. A promise. Earth understands the truth. When footage of the crash and the probe explosion reached Earth, it caused an earthquake of emotion across every colony. General Hayes stood before the council. This is no longer tension. This is no longer observation. This is a fight waiting to happen. Raj whispered to Lena, "Do you think this is the moment humanity begins to lose patience?" Lena nodded slowly. "Not yet," she said. "But this is the first crack. And once patience breaks, the universe will remember." The tension between humanity and the alien fleet was growing like a storm waiting to break. The destruction of the probe and the crash of Falcon 12 had changed everything. On Earth, in colonies, on every station, fear and curiosity mixed together. People asked the same question everywhere. What do the aliens really want? Humanity had guesses, but no real answer. That answer was about to come. A strange discovery. In the research lab on Earth, Dr. Lena Carter studied the alien probe fragments brought back from Hellion 3. The pieces were cracked, burned, and mostly melted, but one core remained intact, a small cube glowing faint blue. Raj stared at it. "It's still active." Lena nodded. "This cube is sending information, but not to the alien ships. It's sending it deeper into space, somewhere far beyond their fleet." Raj froze. "You mean, the aliens we see are not the only ones watching us?" Lena's silence was the answer. The probe was a scout, not for the fleet but for something far larger. Something still hidden. A message buried in the cube. After hours of work, the researchers decoded part of the signal. It wasn't language. It wasn't a threat. It was a report. A report about humans. Human cities. Human technology. Human defenses. Human population. Human vulnerabilities. Raj's eyes widened with fear. "They are studying us, preparing something." Lena swallowed hard. "This is preparation for invasion. Slow, careful, and patient." The council was informed immediately. It was the first time the entire leadership sat in silence. No arguments. No shouting. No debate. Just realization. Humanity wasn't dealing with curious travelers. They were facing a strategic, calculating species planning something bigger. The hidden fleet. That same night, Earth's long-range telescopes picked up something horrifying. Behind the alien ships already surrounding human colonies, far beyond the first fleet, the second fleet was on the way. Much larger. Much stronger. Almost invisible to scanners. General Hayes stared at the holographic display, stunned. This is a war formation," he said quietly. "They plan to surround humanity completely." A diplomat whispered, "Why haven't they attacked yet?" Hayes answered, "Because they're waiting. They want us scared. They want us desperate. They want us to react first, so they can justify destroying us." Patience. The aliens had mastered it. But humanity's patience was cracking. Colonies under pressure. On Hellion 3, Commander Iris Vance stood outside, watching the massive ship still hovering above the colony. Its red lights pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Her communication officer rushed to her. "Commander, we captured a new signal from the alien ship." "What kind of signal?" It's scanning our people." Iris frowned. "What do you mean scanning?" The officer hesitated. "They are identifying everyone. Names, heat signatures, biological readings. They know exactly who lives here. They know our children. Our elderly. Our weak points." Iris felt her patience shatter just a little more. "How long will Earth wait?" she whispered. "How long will humans accept this humiliation?" She didn't know the answer. But she knew something was coming. The informant. The real turning point came from a place no one expected. A small alien craft, unlike the others, broke away from the fleet and drifted toward a human communication relay near Mars. Its surface flickered like it was damaged. The military prepared to destroy it, but at the last moment, the craft opened, and a figure stepped out. It was an alien, but not like the ones in the ships. This one looked weak, injured, frightened. When human soldiers approached, the alien raised its hands, slowly, peacefully, and projected a hologram. A message appeared, written in symbols, then translated into simple human words. "They are not here to talk. They are here to control. And you are running out of time." The alien collapsed. Soldiers rushed to help, unsure if it was a trap. But the creature did not attack. It simply whispered one last warning. "Do not wait. They will crush you the moment their second fleet arrives. Humanity had just received the truth, from one of the aliens themselves. And now, people everywhere understood. The aliens never wanted peace. They only wanted power. And patience was their weapon. Earth faces reality. When the hologram was shown to the council, chaos erupted. "This is proof," General Hayes shouted. "They are preparing to enslave us or destroy us." Diplomats looked pale. "We cannot negotiate with an enemy preparing for extermination." Lena stood and said softly, "This is the moment. If we do nothing, they will take our world. Our children. Our future." The council fell silent. Humanity's patience had been pushed too far. The universe was watching. They would never forget what humans decided next. And the first step toward humanity's breaking point had already been taken. Humanity's warning spread through the galaxy like a storm. Every major species, every alliance, every hidden empire, they all heard the same message. Do not push us again. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy became silent. Even the most aggressive civilizations stopped their movements. No one wanted to be the next target of humanity's anger. They had all witnessed what happened to the Skarn Dominion. A powerful empire destroyed in minutes. A fleet erased. A planet burning like a dying star. But while most species backed away, some did not. And that was where the real danger began. On the edge of the Perseus Arm, a secret alliance called the Circle of Nine gathered. These were 9 species who believed humans were becoming too strong, too unpredictable, too dangerous. They met in a hidden fortress floating inside a dark nebula. The fortress was invisible to sensors, protected by gravity waves and cloaking fields. Only the 9 knew its location. The leader of the circle, a creature named Vorik Tal, slammed his claws against the table. "These humans pretend to be peaceful, but they are becoming a threat to us all," he growled. "If we allow them to grow stronger, they will rule the galaxy." Another member, the crystalline being Esharikel, replied calmly, "We have seen their power. Striking them directly is foolish." Vorik narrowed his eyes. "Then we strike indirectly." The room went silent. "Explain," another member said. Vorik's voice became cold. "Humans lose patience only when they feel threatened. So we will make them feel unsafe. We will attack their allies. We will target their colonies. And eventually, we will force them to make a mistake." Some of the circle agreed. Some hesitated. But greed and fear pushed them forward. And the Circle of Nine started planning something the galaxy had never seen before. Meanwhile on Earth, humanity was preparing for the worst. Commander Rhea Hale stood in the central command room of the Sol Defense Network. Dozens of holographic maps floated around her. Trade routes, star systems, unidentified movements, rumors of secret alliances. She could sense something was wrong. She looked at her officers. "Report. Any new activity?" "Yes, Commander," an officer replied. 3 allied colonies have gone silent. No signals. No distress calls. Rhea's heart tightened. "Cause? We don't know. But there are signs of interference. Not natural." Another officer stepped forward. "Commander, our long-range scanners found something else. A fleet. Unknown. Unmarked. Approaching the borders of human space." Rhea turned slowly. "How many ships?" "More than 500. The room fell into sudden silence. Even the machines seemed to stop humming. Rhea inhaled deeply. "Put the entire Sol system on alert. Call every fleet. Contact our allies. And prepare the civilian shelters." Her voice remained calm, firm, controlled. But inside, she felt the weight of what was coming. This was no random attack. This was a coordinated threat. And humanity could not afford to lose patience again. Far from Earth, Captain Adrian Wolf and the crew of the starship Vanguard received the emergency signal. The ship had been patrolling near the Orion Expanse, but now it changed direction and began racing toward human territory. Adrian stood on the bridge, staring at the alert message repeating on the main screen. "Unknown hostile fleet approaching. All units return immediately." His crew looked shaken. One officer spoke quietly, "Sir, do you think this is another Skarn-like situation?" Adrian looked out the window at the stars racing past. "No," he said. "This is bigger." "Bigger?" the officer asked. Adrian nodded slowly. "Someone is trying to break us. Someone thinks if they push hard enough, humanity will snap again. And they are right, but not in the way they expect." The crew exchanged uneasy glances. In the Circle of Nine's hidden fortress, Vorik Tal received the first reports. "Human fleets are moving. Their systems are on high alert." Vorik smiled darkly. "Good. Soon the galaxy will fear them even more than before. And when they lose control, we will strike them down. But one member of the circle, the wise HFY, looked uneasy. You underestimate them, HFY whispered. You think anger blinds them. But humans are strange. When they truly lose patience, they do not become weak. Vorik scoffed. They become reckless. No, HFY corrected softly. They become unstoppable. Vorik ignored the warning. But deep inside, even he felt a strange chill. Back on Earth, Commander Rhea Hale stood before her fleet commanders. Listen carefully, she said. We do not know who is behind this. But we will not strike first. We will not fire unless fired upon. But if they want to test us, her eyes hardened. They will learn why the universe fears our patience. The fleet leaders nodded. The countdown to the possible war had begun. And somewhere in the dark between stars, the unknown fleet continued moving forward, silent, cold, unmarked. Humanity waited. The galaxy held its breath. And Part 6 would begin with the moment the first shot finally arrived. The unknown fleet moved slowly toward human space, silent and cold like a shadow stretching across the stars. No flags. No signals. No warnings. Only one thing was clear. They were coming with purpose. Humanity watched from every sensor, every station, every ship. The entire Sol system felt the tension like air right before a storm breaks. Commander Rhea Hale stood on the command deck, eyes fixed on the hologram of the hostile fleet. Distance? She asked. 4 light hours and closing, an officer replied. Any attempt to communicate? Rhea asked. We've sent 12 messages. No reply. No translation. Nothing. Rhea exhaled slowly. Something was wrong. Something felt too calculated. On the starship Vanguard, Captain Adrian Wolf sensed the same thing. He leaned back in his chair as the ship approached Rally Point Sigma, where hundreds of human warships were gathering. He whispered to himself, Who are you? And why won't you talk? But there was no answer. Only the steady hum of the ship engines. The Vanguard dropped out of slipspace, revealing the largest human fleet assembled since the First Contact era. Carriers, cruisers, dreadnoughts, rows and rows of metal giants forming a wall in space. The crew stared in awe. Sir, the navigator whispered. It looks like a whole galaxy is preparing for war. Adrian nodded. And we don't even know who fired the first move yet. He had no idea how close that first move really was. Inside the hidden fortress of the Circle of Nine, Vorik Tal watched everything through stolen sensor relays. Humans are scared, he said proudly. Their fleets are gathering. Their systems are locked down. Soon their fear will turn into aggression. But HFY shook its crystalline head. You mistake preparation for fear. Humans do not prepare because they are afraid. They prepare because they refuse to lose. Vorik snarled, It does not matter. Once the first shot is fired, they will react with anger, not logic. Another member asked, And who will fire the first shot? Vorik smiled wickedly. We will. At the edge of human territory, a lone Earth scouting ship, the Horizon, drifted quietly near the border. Its job was simple. Keep watch on the unknown fleet and report its movement. The crew didn't expect to become the spark of war. The Horizon's captain, Mira Solis, watched the enemy fleet through a magnified display. Her voice was tense. I don't like this. They're not slowing down. Not communicating. It's like they want us to guess. The tactical officer checked the readings again. Captain, something strange. One of their ships just broke formation. Why? Mira asked. I don't know. It's heading toward us. The bridge fell silent. Mira straightened her back. Try communication again. The officer sent the signal. No reply. The enemy ship kept approaching. Then, the lights flickered. Alarm screamed. Energy spike. On the hostile ship. Mira felt her heartbeat stop. Is it a weapon? Yes. How long until? A bright white beam shot across space. Fast, silent, merciless. It struck the horizon before anyone could blink. The bridge filled with blinding light. Myra's last thought was, So this is how the war begins. The horizon exploded into dust. Back in the Sol Command Center, every screen lit up red. A single alert echoed through the entire room. Loss of signal, scout ship Horizon destroyed. Rhea froze. Show me the footage. They replayed the final moments. The beam. The explosion. Rhea's hands clenched into fists. So, they fired first. For a moment she closed her eyes. Not in fear, but in acceptance. Send a system-wide broadcast, she ordered. Message begins. Humanity has been attacked. We did not start this. But we will finish it. The officer swallowed, then sent the message. Across every world, every ship, every colony, humanity heard the words. A quiet fire awakened in billions of hearts. Captain Adrian Wolf received the news seconds later. The bridge of the Vanguard went silent as the footage played. The crew stared with horror. Adrian rose slowly from his chair. "That's it," he said. "They made their choice." The helmsman asked, voice shaking, "Sir, what are your orders?" Adrian looked at the stars ahead, toward the enemy fleet. "Order every ship to form battle lines. Shields up. Weapons armed. No more waiting." The Vanguard's engines roared as it moved to the front of the formation. Adrian whispered, almost to himself. They wanted to see humanity lose patience. His eyes hardened like steel. Now they will see what happens after. In the Circle of Nine's fortress, Vorik Tau received the report. "The first strike succeeded," a member said. "The humans will react." Vorik grinned. "Good. Let their fury blind them." But Eshari Kel's crystals dimmed with sorrow. "You do not understand them," Eshari murmured. "Humans do not become blind when angered. They become focused." Vorik ignored the warning. He didn't know it yet. But the Circle had just made the greatest mistake in galactic history. Because when humanity finally lost patience, there was no turning back. The human fleet moved like a rising storm. Thousands of ships lined up in perfect formation, silent, steady, and ready. The enemy fleet waited ahead, glowing with unknown power, confident after destroying the horizon. They believed humans would panic. They believed humans would beg. They believed humans would hesitate. They were wrong. On the bridge of the Vanguard, Captain Adrian Wolf stared at the enemy ships as they drifted closer. His voice was calm, steady, and cold. "Open a channel to the entire fleet." A tone beeped. Billions of human lives waited for his next words. Adrian spoke slowly. "We didn't start this. But we will answer it. Today the enemy learns a truth they forgot. Humanity may be patient, but we are not weak." His crew felt the words like fire in their blood. "All ships," he ordered, "prepare for final strike protocol." In Sole Command, Commander Rhea Hale stood before a massive holographic map. She watched the enemy push deeper into human space, confident in their first victory. "Signal the colonies," she ordered. "Activate planetary shield net. Evacuate civilians. Ready ground defenses." Her officers moved quickly. Rhea whispered to herself, "They think they understand us, but they have no idea." Far across the galaxy, in the fortress of the Circle of Nine, alarms shrieked. The Nine watched the human mobilization with shock. Vorik Tau snarled, "Impossible. They should be retreating." But Eshari Kel shook its angular head. "I warned you," Eshari said softly. "When humans lose patience, they do not run. They do not hide. They rise." Vorik slammed his claw against the table. "Send the full fleet. Crush them before they respond." But Eshari whispered something that froze the room. "It is already too late." Back at the battlefield, the air between the two fleets crackled with building energy. Drones scanned. Missiles armed. Fighters lined their launch tubes. A young officer on the Vanguard looked at Adrian. "Sir, the enemy is charging weapons again." Adrian nodded. "Let them." The crew waited, breath held tight. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. A bright flash lit the enemy's ships. The second attack had begun. But this time, humanity did not wait. "Fire." Adrian commanded. The human fleet unleashed everything at once. Rail cannons, plasma bursts, particle beams, missile swarms. Space turned white for an instant like a star exploding. The first line of the enemy fleet evaporated in the blast. They had expected fear. They received fury. Enemy ships scrambled in panic. Their formations shattered as humans pressed forward with brutal precision. The Vanguard led the charge, its cannons tearing through enemy shields. On every screen, human ships advanced like a tidal wave. "Enemy flagship collapsing," an officer shouted. "Keep pushing," Adrian ordered. A massive alien dreadnought fired a deadly beam toward the Vanguard. "Brace for impact," someone yelled. The beam struck, and shattered harmlessly against enhanced human shields. Adrian smirked. "You should have studied us before attacking." The Vanguard responded with a single hyperrail shot that split the dreadnought in half. Hours later, only drifting debris filled the battlefield. The enemy fleet, once so confident, was gone. Completely destroyed. The humans had not just won. They had ended the threat. Silence filled the bridge as the last enemy signal vanished from radar. The crew slowly realized. It was over. Adrian stood tall. Transmit message to all systems. Humanity stands. Humanity endures. Let the galaxy remember this day. When the Circle of Nine received the final report, the fortress shook with fear. Vorik Tal stared at the screen in disbelief. Annihilated? All of them? Asharikel finally spoke. You struck a patient species and expected silence. But humans are not quiet when pushed. And now the